Hello, I'm Mike Wales, also known as the Child Injury Attorney. In today's podcast, I'm going to talk about why you should seek compensation for an injured child, how a settlement might be structured, and most importantly, where would the compensation come from?
When your child is injured by negligence, Michael Wales fights for justice. The Child Injury Attorney.
Let's start with a quick overview. Why seek compensation for your injured child? Parents or legal guardians of an injured child play a crucial role in pursuing compensation. They can act as the child's legal representatives, ensuring their rights are protected and advocating for their best interests throughout the legal process. A parent should seek compensation for an injured child to cover current and future medical costs, pain and suffering, and other damages resulting from the injury, which can have long-term effects on a child's physical, emotional, and financial future. Calculating damages for children in personal injury cases requires special consideration due to the unique aspects of childhood development and long-term implications of injuries. An injury that affects a child's cognitive abilities or physical capabilities could have a profound impact on their future education and career opportunities. Damages must be considered so the potential loss of educational attainment and future earning capacity are carefully looked at. Because children have a longer life expectancy than adults, any ongoing or permanent effects of an injury must be considered over a longer period of time, potentially increasing the amount of compensation required to cover long-term care and support. In California, a child cannot file a lawsuit on their own behalf. Instead, a parent or legal guardian must file the claim on the child's behalf. The guardian is responsible for making decisions about the claim, including whether to accept a settlement offer. What happens when a case settles? Well, when the acceptable settlement is negotiated between the parties, in most cases we set up a structured settlement for the child. A structured settlement for an injured minor child is a tailored financial arrangement, court approved and often tax-free, that provides a secure stream of periodic payments, an annuity, instead of a single lump sum. This approach safeguards the funds until the child reaches maturity and helps ensure money is available for the long-term needs like medical care, education, and living expenses. Long-term financial security is very important. The payments are typically spread out over a predetermined length of time, often starting when the child turns 18, 21, or 25. This prevents the minor from irresponsibly spending a large sum of money all at once when they reach legal age. Regarding these tax-free payments, for personal physical injury or wrongful death cases, the entire structured settlement payment stream, including interest earned, is generally exempt from federal and state income taxes under Internal Revenue Code Section 104A2. One of the great things about a structured settlement annuity is that the funds in the structured settlement provide a fixed, guaranteed rate of return, protecting the settlement's value from market volatility. It's a customized payment schedule. We look at each case to make this customization. Payments can be tailored to meet specific anticipated needs and life milestones. Examples include covering immediate and ongoing medical costs, providing lump sums for college tuition or down payment on a home, offering a steady income stream for living expenses during early adulthood, and protection from creditors. The underlying annuity is typically protected from creditors and judgments. If your child is injured by another's negligence, where do you look for compensation? Depending on the circumstances and location where the injury occurred, we look to the following sources. We might look to a company's business liability policy if your child was injured due to an unsafe condition at a business. This may include unsafe rides or attractions, unsafe escalators, unsecured handrails, lack of warnings, premises in disrepair, etc. We may look to a manufacturer's or distributor's insurance if your child was injured by a defective product or defective medication. We may look to a municipality if your child's injury was caused by unsafe sidewalks or streets or other negligence attributable to the municipality. We may look at a private or public school or daycare's insurance policy for injuries such as playground injuries, sports injuries, including injuries suffered during physical education classes or participation in school-sponsored sports teams, school bus injuries, and including injuries related to improperly maintained equipment or injuries on sponsored school trips. We may look at a negligent driver's auto insurance policy, if relevant. We may look at a homeowner's policy if a member of a household negligently injures your child, whether on or off the home property. We may look to a renter's insurance policy if a member of a household negligently injures your child, whether on or off the home. We might look at your auto policies, uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage, if your child was injured by an uninsured motorist or an underinsured motorist, even if your child was a pedestrian or was on his or her bicycle or e-bike. Let me speak a little bit about exclusions and policy limits. All insurance policies come with exclusions and coverage limits. Claims can be denied due to illegal activity or activities that fall outside the policy terms. Dog bites and pet-related injuries. Dog bites are very common. We see those a lot, and they can be filed under a renter's or a homeowner's insurance policy. If an owner's dog bites a child, a guest, a neighbor, or someone in a public setting, the policy may cover the medical expenses and legal fees up to the policy limits. Coverage often depends on the breed of dog and whether it's disclosed in the policy. Oftentimes, injuries due to the landlord's negligence will not be covered. Most renter policies don't always account for every risk. Some policies do add medical payments to others. That optional coverage helps pay for minor medical expenses, such as first aid or an ER visit. A word about injuries caused by uninsured drivers and underinsured drivers or hit-and-run drivers. If your child is struck by a hit-and-run driver or an uninsured driver, your uninsured motorist and your underinsured motorist coverage should cover any additional damages. So it will pay for another driver that's at fault but either has no insurance at all or does not carry enough insurance to cover your medical bills or other losses, or one that flees the scene in a hit and run and cannot be found. Medical care can be very expensive. Even an ambulance ride and a visit to the emergency room can quickly reach or exceed $30,000, leaving you responsible for the remainder of your bills. Uninsured motorist coverage and the uninsured motorist coverage will help cover those expenses if you've been hit by an uninsured or underinsured driver. You cannot afford not to carry underinsured motorist and uninsured motorist coverage, especially if your children are avid e-bike, or bicycle riders, it's critical you carry this coverage and enough of it. In conclusion, a good attorney will not only investigate the facts of the evidence and the medical and financial consequences for the child and his or her family, but will also uncover every source of compensation, and that includes insurance coverage. At the conclusion of the case, the family and the attorney will set up a structured settlement that will take care of the future needs for the child. I hope this information has been of some benefit for you. Stay tuned for our next podcast, where we will explore the complexities of a traumatic brain injury case. Until then, let's keep those kids safe. For more information on how to protect your children or seek answers to your questions and concerns, please visit our website, thechildinjuryattorney.com. We value your feedback. Leave a comment below with your questions or topics you'd like us to cover. As a quick reminder, please click the notification bell to receive instant updates whenever the Child Injury Attorney shares new important information.
When your child is injured by negligence, Michael Wales fights for justice. The Child Injury Attorney. Justice and protection for injured children. Thank you for watching. This presentation was brought to you by Every Media Productions.